So the crypto summit in the White House happened yesterday, and a lot of things have changed since, which we want to pay attention to, and I'm going to talk about in today's video. So we've seen yesterday Trump basically giving us 15 minutes of his time on that crypto summit that happened in the White House. We've had some very interesting names as well, among them Brian Armstrong, which is CEO of Coinbase, and we had Michael Saylor. And what I really want to touch on here today, guys, is finally we have this behind us, because the market could not really just stop talking about this summit, and it is going to be a sell the news, and a lot of things might happen, and a lot of speculation around it, and most importantly, uncertainty, which basically is the enemy of the markets. Markets don't like uncertainty, but thank God here we have not seen much volatility happen. Bitcoin is still onto this local uptrend here, trying to regain control of the previous range at around 92k. As you can see, still above this VWAP that we talked about in previous videos, where basically Bitcoin always mark that as the low and never come back there, and we see new all-time highs from Bitcoin. But I'm gonna show you more things now, that since now the summit is over and behind us, it seems like, well, now we have nothing left to look forward to for the crypto space. Any news, especially now, I'm seeing this a lot now. People get used to news, right? Every time, what is the next news that can pump the market? What is the next catalyst that could pump the market? What is this? What is that? Now, especially that we don't have those things anymore happening, what can we look forward to see further increase in prices? And when it comes to cryptos, what 2025 can look like from here? Now, first off, for the people that did not watch this, so basically now we have a Bitcoin strategic reserves in the US effective. It is being signed, but it is not what people expected. People expected that the US will start buying in Bitcoin, but instead now they will hold the seized crypto assets, right? Crypto assets that they seize, they will hold them. So if any of your meme coins get seized, the government, the US government, will seize them, will have them on their balance sheets, on their crypto reserves. But on a serious note, basically they're gonna hold the Bitcoin that they seized basically from Silk Road and all previous seizures that they had going on, or the Bitcoin that they have custody of, so they will not sell it. That's good news. But there are some speculations as well when it comes to that. This is more of a conspiracy, but there are talks that probably the US, the government already sold the Bitcoin and that they use Coinbase credit line basically to sell it. And now we've seen this news that the US Marshal Service cannot account for billions of dollars worth of crypto per coin desk, but we don't know if that's true or not. And if that's true, that might lead the US to start buying Bitcoin, but I don't really want to pay attention to this fluff too much. Just a side note, basically. Now the thing is, they are going to keep that Bitcoin they hold or they seized, or any ETH or any coin that they mentioned they're going to have, they're going to keep that Bitcoin. And we're going to have more clarity on crypto regulations and scrutiny. So no more concerns, no more problems, no more XRP against the SEC, no more exchanges getting fined, none of that, none of CZ going to jail or all that stuff. Now it's behind us, but still the market is not pumping, but I'm going to get to that. Now, one thing we saw as well is the FIFA coin. So FIFA is claiming that they are interested in creating a FIFA coin and made in the US, and that was actually discussed in the crypto summit, believe it or not. Now this could be as well another catalyst. If that actually happens, that could be a catalyst that could send or could bring in more hope into the altcoin season. That could be it, because a lot of people now are very heavy into Bitcoin, right? Since the Bitcoin ETFs, since all that's been happening, since this strong price action from Bitcoin, Bitcoin just kept eating up that market share from altcoins. Just everybody is capitulating, buying up Bitcoin and selling their altcoins. Bitcoin is just gaining more and more and more strength. And one of those things actually that can cause an altcoin season is Bitcoin market share starts to flow into altcoins. This is basically what causes the Bitcoin dominance to start going down. Basically, it's what's telling us is that Bitcoin, or people are selling Bitcoin to buy altcoins. Now that could be one thing that could cause the Bitcoin dominance to start going down, is that people start to get fed up with Bitcoin, or basically we see the government and a big push towards altcoin. altcoins. It could be a FIFA coin, or it could be something that we've seen recently, which is World Liberty Financial, which is the Trump's crypto company, are increasing their ETH holdings. Now, since ETH is down, they are down as well by a lot, but they still hold their ETH. They added more, and that could also be a thing, right, that the market can be looking forward to. Or why is Trump still buying ETH, especially? What's going on here, especially that ETH had an ETF already right after Bitcoin. So a lot of things here that tell us that we might see, maybe, right, that's another thing to look forward to, a flight to altcoins from Bitcoin. If actually we keep seeing those things happening and playing out, I've seen previous altcoin season happen just like that, just by a simple thing like with Dogecoin in the past as well. Now, Dogecoin was unknown until 2021 when Elon Musk tweeted about it, and then suddenly it started an altcoin season out of nowhere. Now, sometimes we just need a little thing to bring hope back in the market, to kick in that FOMO back in. This is literally what we need, is FOMO, is greed. Again, people feeling greedy and back into the market, because now they've been treated badly, they've been drained. Official Trump meme coin and all that, the pump.fund, people have lost money, and especially faith, because money can come and go, but faith and belief, that's something that is more important. That's what we see also with the fear and greed. Now, those are things that happened. Basically, it was a 15-minute talk. It included the strategic Bitcoin reserve and also crypto reserve, and the most important thing here is that FIFA coin. Now, nobody's talking about it on Twitter or on YouTube. I don't know why, but it was there, and we did not see any trending coin called FIFA coin. So the world is healing, the crypto space is healing. People stopped trying to launch coins based on any news. So that's something important to keep in mind. Now, to the juicy part, what we can expect now in 2025, since now all these bullish catalysts that we could think of, Bitcoin ETFs, crypto strategic reserves, all Trump winning, all that stuff is behind us now. What can we actually look forward to? Now, what we can look forward to, guys, is what actually drives the markets. And what drives the markets, as I said before, is its relationship towards the dollar. So if the dollar goes down, cryptos go up regardless. That's actually what started bull markets since the dawn of markets, since the market started trading, basically people, or since basically the dollar went off the gold standards. So the dollar became fiat, which means has no intrinsic value or has no backing. Basically, people started to fly to safety and started to buy assets like stocks, gold, silver, and recently cryptocurrencies. So basically people, or when I say people, I say people, investors and people with large amount of money, they do prefer not to hold dollar because they know the dollar is backed by nothing, and the dollar loses its value. Even if you keep it in your bank account, it does lose its value, which happening now. Now the dollar is down. Even for people who hold only USDT, they are down, but they don't know it. And most importantly, with the dollar starts to show a lot of weakness and more weakness, well, people start to see that they are gonna start to lose money to this weakness on the dollar. What they start to do is that they start to buy stocks, gold, silver, cryptos, Bitcoin, ETH, and all that, because they are flying away, they're running away from the dollar. Now, what can cause them to run away from the dollar as well is that the yield or interest rates that they earn from saving the dollar, when now they are getting paid, let's say 4%, because the rates are at 4%, and we know Trump wants to actually reduce the rates as one of his still targets for his presidency, and that could as well cause people to run away from this yield generation account, or sell off their dollars to buy something that can generate more money, or at least hedge against the dollar going down. So those are all things that historically always started a bull market, and that's why we're still looking at this. This is the most important thing. All the other news and stuff like that is fluff, and it's just like like entertainment, it's funny and all that. It can cause short-term volatility. Indeed, it can cause us to see maybe a pullback, maybe a pump. Sometimes on the same day where we have the Fed's talking, we do have volatility days, or like an hour or two or of a candle going up and down in a nonsense way. We see those a lot. But for the long term, the dollar is where it's all at. Now, I will add as well, as I shown you on the previous video, but we can add it again just to show everybody here new watching what usually happens when the dollar goes down. And especially the previous time the dollar went down when Trump was in the office, the dollar went down, it started pumping, causing the 2017 bull market, as we all know. And then the dollar went down here again and causing the 2021 bull market. And then the dollar is going down again and will likely cause another bull market. And as you can see, the similarities here are very shocking. And as you can see here, we had this double top in a fake out with Trump taking the office. On the fake out, the dollar went down. We have the same thing again, where we have this double top and the fake out on Trump taking the office with the dollar going down. That suggests that we might see another pump from it. Altcoins, Bitcoin, all that stuff starts to pump exactly like we've seen here. Now, it might take some time. It usually does take some time to see that. But we we should start seeing this soon, as we're already now in this process. We're already going down. The dollar is already going down. So you can see that the dollar started breaking down and ETH started moving back up. Now you can argue here that ETH was more of a lower cap coin, so it kind of needed less power to start pushing up. But literally, once the dollar was really at its lowest points, this is when we seen this rally on ETH. And that's what we're actually expecting here to happen now soon on ETH as well. That's why I'm still bullish. I'm still looking at this, and this is what's keeping me bullish regardless of what's the news is today, or what's the hottest news, or what's the hottest coin of the day, or whatever is happening, or whatever the bears are talking about out there, or whatever is going on. This is usually what marks the beginning of an altcoin season. Now, one thing I like to look at as well is the global liquidity, which always precedes the pumps, as well as it's pretty much as well following the dollar. When the dollar is weak, the global liquidity starts to go up, basically meaning that they are printing dollars now, and that's why the dollar is getting weaker. The supply is increasing, and that's also is shown on the global liquidity. Now, the global liquidity as well broke out here on that lockdown times, and that's what caused as well a bull market. It did cause the 2017 bull market when you see this here. And since basically 2022, this global liquidity was just on a downtrend, but here and there, whenever it starts rallying, it precedes a pump. And whenever we see it rally, we see a pump happen a few days after. Sometimes it takes 60 days, 70 days, sometimes a month, but usually we see these pumps happen or play out right after. You can see here it topped around this time here, but then we've seen the global liquidity topped right around here, but then we see this pump right after. Then it goes down. Then it takes some time for that to be shown on alts like ETH here. And the reason I'm talking about ETH, by the way, is because it's the second largest crypto asset, and because it's an altcoin, or the largest altcoin. When it pumps coins, other coins pump. When it dumps, other coins dump. So now as well, we've seen this play out here. It really literally topped on this bottom here, and then later on we've seen a rally from ETH. And recently it did actually rally, and it's still rallying because of the dollar is going down. Finally, sustained the downtrend here. We're seeing it now non-stop going up, and that actually is not priced in yet on the charts. That also, as it is at range lows, suggesting that we might revisit the range highs again. That's very bullish when I'm looking at this. Now, we're still on this uptrend. It does take a month or two. Now, this suggests that Bitcoin, we could see a new all-time high on Bitcoin around April or the beginning of May for ETH. But the most important is this is the bottom here, and this bottom is likely to hold and reverse back up, also fueled by shorts and everybody shorting, everybody bearish, everybody thinking about this is bearish and all that. Now, this is the second thing I'm looking at. Now, when it comes to pure price action and technical analysis on the charts here on ETH, what we look at here is we had something similar. It's almost crazy to see that, but what we've seen is these 2 weekly sell-off candles. We have them here, 2 weekly sell-off candles, then 2 green. You see those two here, those two again here and here, and then we had 2 sell-offs sell-offs, weekly candles, which we have now here again. Look at the similarities. Just let me clean this, just it looks proper. So you can see this last two, it's this last two here. And right after we had 3 green weeks on it, then 1 red, then 2 green, then 2 red, and then finally the breakout. So this suggests that we could see now the next week's green on it, bringing it back to that 2,500 level, then sell off back again, then bringing it to green candles again above that 2,500. Maybe we go revisit 2,800. So that's another high here, 2,800. Then we have the 3K here level. That's the breakout level we see here. Those are things I'm looking at, especially that we are at range lows on it. Now we cannot make this up. When we are at range lows and everybody is shorting, this is what the market wants you to do. Is when it's at the range highs, everybody's bullish and everybody's long and everybody's buying. When it's at the range highs, everybody's bearish, everybody's short, everybody's selling. So it usually reverses on those kind of situations. One more thing as well is the extreme resemblance of that E chart to XRP right before that breakout. So I want to show you this. When you see this range here on it does kind of come back from this previous range lows on the bear market. We broke above it, then we retested it. You can say the same thing here happened on XRP with a bit of more weakness, but it's very similar. XRP as well was on this uptrend on that bear market, broke above it. This is the SEC win on XRP, then started trading above its range here, above that previous high, with a fake out to the downside. We could say that this is it, right? This is the fake out to the downside that we see here on XRP, but keep in mind XRP was weaker than it. You could argue that this is the fake out and then claim back the range, and then we seen XRP going on to this massive run. We could see the same thing here, where we see it faking out this range, then back, and then a bit off ranging, and then we say maybe we come back here down and then break out. This is what we've seen actually happen on XRP here. It's very similar, and a lot of coins are actually looking like they want to do that, especially on the top 10 coins. And usually that's how a real altcoin season start, is where you see these all top coins, they all play out the same way, as they all start to break out one after the other. And we're seeing this now here play out. Now this similarity here when it comes to the charts here on price action on ETH versus XRP is shockingly similar. Now I want to add as well the range high, so just so it shows you how similar this is. We have range highs, range lows, break above. We have the same thing playing out. Basically we could say that this is the range high, basically tested 2 times, tested 2 times. You can 1 2 3. Yeah, actually it is very similar. Look at this now, 1 2 3, and then we have as well on ETH, if you look at it here, 1 2 3, and this is the time where we are at right now. So this could be this thing here, and actually the breakout should happen on this 4th time, which is something I was talking about as well. The 4th time is going to be the breakout. So 1 2 3, then we have a range time here where it's going to be boring. A lot of people are going to be against it and call it a failure or whatever. That's we've seen as well with XRP, and to be frank, I fell for that as well when it came to XRP. Now I was always day trading XRP because it's very good at day trading, or it had been before it broke out. It was perfect for day trading because it was just ranging, and it's the same thing that it is doing now. It is arguably now very good for day trading because it just bounces from range high to range low very slowly, very good for day trading. That's what XRP was like in the time here, and that's why I really liked it. And I was thinking it might never break out, and I fell for that ranging forever time here, and little did I know it surprised me and surprised everyone basically with a massive pump. We could see the same thing here playing out. As you can see, the charts are very similar. Now we could even argue that a lot of altcoins are doing the same thing. Even Litecoin is doing the same thing, one of the weakest alts out there, and it's been one of the weakest since 2017, basically when it just made its massive rally. We could say that it's actually doing the same thing since it broke out of that bear market range, and now it's above it, and it's just starting. It's basically just here now. This is where XRP broke out, and probably this is where Litecoin is at right now, just starting its cycle as well, where we would see it as well range. It's defining the range now, where we can see that ranging as well, the same ranging we've seen on XRP, if we put that back here, we could argue that it's pretty much doing as well the same thing on a much smaller, less impulsive chart on Litecoin, because it's not really the strongest coin, but still it's showing us it's doing the same thing as well. It's lagging behind, and it might not be the coin that took pump next, but probably is the coin that's just right around this time as well here where XRP was. So it might take some time for this to range, maybe retest the range high here 3 times like XRP did, and then break out. So most likely we're going to see ETH first doing that. So the reason we're looking at the altcoins is because of the altcoin season. So if they start rallying and they start pumping and altcoins start to show some strength, this will bring hope back into the market. This will bring FOMO. That's what we need. Also Litecoin and Cardano, Dogecoin, even Shiba Inu, Avalanche, those coins from the previous cycle, from 2021 cycle, hold a lot of those retail that's been holding or hold since 2021. And for those people, the bull market never happened. If you've been holding any of the top coins besides Solana and XRP, the bull market never happened basically for you. And those people are still holding those coins since that time. And what could bring them back to the space is any of those coins pumping, any of those top 50 coins, the old ones from 2021, to start pumping again. And that's why we're looking at the similarities here and what could be cooking behind the scenes here for altcoins. That's what I got for you here, guys. It's still bullish. We're still looking for this to play out, and the indicator, as I said, is this dollar going down. The dollar going down will trigger a chain event that will send everybody looking for risk assets, looking for other assets besides the dollar, because the dollar is losing strength. And what could cause this actually to really start the big FOMO is the rate cuts, because the rates now are at 4%, which means you're earning on your cash, and as soon as you earn less on your cash, now your cash is worthless and you want to put it somewhere else. If you want to put your cash somewhere else, then you have other options. And talking about that as well, ETH will have staking ETFs, which means that's another competition for the dollar and for the interests that people earn on their dollar. If that goes down, then they will start to look for alternatives, and staking ETH as well gives you around 5%, which will compete with this 4% here if that goes down to 2% or even 0, which is basically what was the rates at whenever we had a bull market. The rates were at around 0 basically, but in 2017 actually we had them at around 2%. In 2021 we had them at 0%. So that's the actual thing I'm looking for. ETH might be the first to start rallying. As you can see, the similarities with XRP, if you look at it, ETH is the one that is the closest, and it's around this time now here for ETH. So right before the breakout on XRP, while others are still on this ranging or just starting to break above the bear market lows and start to form a new range here before the breakout. So that's something we can play out. That's also a money rotation thing, but it might take some time. So ETH is first, but when ETH pumps, memes on ETH follow. That's very important, because now I see this playing out with each blockchain. You have their native meme coins. They do have a meme coin season on each blockchain. We see those. So ETH pumping will trigger an ETH season, an ETH meme coin season, and that's very bullish for our meme coins on ETH. That's important. Then we can see how we can play out the Litecoin and others that are coming up as well, and that's something I'm looking at as well. Anyways, enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for watching today's video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.